Welcome into One on Ocean Student Radio KXUI Sunlink Channel 112. We are live from Studio 318, doing it with a bunch of people that we threw together, but they're going to do a great job for us. Happy times around here. It's a little bit cold around here. They're taking away our scooters here at Stillwater, but what else do you expect?
The birds are going south to wherever the impound lot is.
Yeah, they're taking our fun away, but what else do you expect them to do here? But not happy times here in Stillwater because the Oklahoma State Cowboys football team, they're not good. To put it nicely, they're just not very good.
Yeah, a lot of disappointing losses so far. You know, that home opener against Texas Tech and then another home game against Iowa State, and then you go to Manhattan, Kansas, and drop a big game. It's looking rough.
I mean, I can think of one positive that came from this. We didn't lose a double digit. We weren't favored as double digits and lose. I mean, we were only favored in single digits and we lost. So a vast improvement for where we've been in the past. I mean, in all seriousness, a 31-12 loss to the Kansas State Wildcats is sickening on top of a loss to Iowa State and Texas Tech, teams that we don't lose to, especially in the same season. They fall to 4-3. The bowl streak is definitely at jeopardy. Taylor Cornelius was 17 of 35, 184 yards, and the 2 interceptions. They put up 12 points. Just sad. Sad state of affairs. I don't think that benching Cornelius is the answer. I think you're going to have to find 5 good answers to fix their questions, and I don't know that they have the ability to do that. I think this is what this football team is.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Another problem, I think, Justice Hill and Taylor Cornelius had the same number of carries on Saturday. That's a big problem. Justice Hill only 11 carries for 41 yards, 0 touchdowns. That snaps his streak of Big 12 games with a rushing touchdown. I think he had the record for that. It's hard to look at this and see this team continuing the bowl streak, especially looking at the rest of the schedule.
Oh, man.
The only game I would consider us a favorite in, there are the stats from last week's game right there, is Baylor. That's the only game left on the schedule I can really see this team winning.
And that's a team that beat Kansas State.
Right.
That went into Norman and was competitive. I don't think that they can go to Waco and win. Now, they have 2 weeks to prepare for Texas. Unfortunately, Texas also has a bye week that they can prepare for. If they go into a game and play anything like they did Saturday, they will lose by 40 points the rest of the year. Yeah. The rest of the year. That's not just losing. They will lose by 40 points. If they put on a performance like they did Saturday. I don't think that will be the case. I think, listen, I still think they're a better team than Texas Tech. I still think they're a better team than Iowa State, and I know they're a better team than Kansas State. They absolutely are. Yeah. But they've been out-coached, and they've been outplayed, and they've been out-schemed every way possible to lose these games. It's unacceptable. It has to get better. Because, might I add, that Mike Gundy, you got a $600,000 raise because we didn't want you to go to Tennessee. I think Tennessee has a better record than we do. If pretty close. They're 3-3 somewhere, and just a win over Auburn. $600,000 raise. You make a lot more than that. $600,000, and we're 4-3 and 1-3 in the Big 12 Conference. You might just call it 0-3 because the win over Kansas counts to absolutely nobody. It's got to get fixed. I don't want to see you succeed, I want to see you succeed just as much as everyone else is. But you got to do better. I don't know how to fix it. But I don't think it's Taylor Cornelius' problem.
No, I don't think it's totally on Cornelius. He obviously did not have a good game on Saturday, but it's hard to have a good game when you're running around like that and getting instant pressure from the defense. And our defense, giving up 31 points to Kansas State, and what they give up to Iowa State, 48? Or 31 to Kansas State, sorry. That's not good. And Kansas State's very predictable. 55 runs compared to, 22 passing plays.
We should have had Colicchio out on the sideline because he knew it was coming. Everyone knew that. Kansas State basically told you, we're going to run.
Yeah.
It's either going to come for Skylar Thompson, who's going to pretend to drop back. He completed, 5 passes all game?
11.
That guy couldn't throw a football into the ocean. He could not. He cannot throw.
Yeah, 11 for 22, 130 yards for Skylar Thompson.
I mean,
how can you not stop the run on this? And maybe Calvin Bundage is still kind of banged up. Maybe it's just Jim Knowles going through some growing pains. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for the defense, but
all I've got to say
that
is
might be worse than the offensive line.
you have yet to play Texas,
OU,
West Virginia, Will Greer, Kyler Murray. Things have got to get fixed. No one wants to see them win more than we do.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, one, we go here and we love this team, but it's a lot more fun to talk about when they're winning.
Right. Do you think this Oklahoma State, not to look too far into the future, but do you think this is the kind of Oklahoma State team that can go into Norman and pull one out? Doesn't this kind of seem like the kind of year where
historically, this is the type of team that would do that, but they've got to improve on a lot of things before they want to go into Norman and win.
And we act like the sky is falling, but it's really a few issues that are really holding them back. It's the offensive line and it's the secondary on defense. Don't you think when you boil it down to the main issues?
Oh, it's everything. But I mean that secondary has not been very good. They didn't get a lot of pressure Saturday, and Kansas State made mistakes. A lot. I mean, a missed field goal, getting sacked before halftime, not having the ability to get the field goal. I mean, they could have won by a lot more than they did. So it's interesting times, but hopefully it will get fixed for America's greatest homecoming celebration when they host the Longhorns, which was announced today as a night game. So you don't want to lose on prime time to the Texas Longhorns. Not that you ever want to lose, but it's going to be an interesting game.
What do you think they look at going into the bye week? 'Cause they've got 2 weeks to sit on this loss.
You just have to kind of reflect on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 4-3, 1-3 in the Big 12. Everyone thought you would be 6-0 at this point. You probably could be, probably should be. You just have to reflect because that bowl streak means a lot. I mean, you listen to Robert, it means a lot to him. It means a lot to everyone. So I guess just reflect, but we'll get into every little detail on Wednesday when OSU insider Robert Allen comes in.
Yeah.
We'll start with the number one team in the country, Alabama. They didn't cover, but they put up 10 points in 48 seconds against Missouri.
Yeah, I mean,
so
they're so good.
Never take the favorite or
points.
The points. They never cover.
But they don't have to.
I know the thing is they're not covering because one, Nick Saban doesn't care about Vegas.
Yeah.
But two, they respect their opponent and they come off of what they can do to somebody. So the reason they don't cover is out of respect. But they cost people money.
Missouri only scored 10 points in the first quarter and then they got shut out. I mean, Tua doesn't play the whole game. If Tua plays the whole game, they cover every game.
Yeah, I mean, it was 13-10 going into the second quarter.
Yeah.
After they spotted them 10 points right off the bat.
And, they only got the safety in the third quarter for Alabama, and then they scored a final touchdown in the fourth quarter. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't a clean game.
Who can take this team on? Because Georgia fell, which we can talk about in a second. But is Ohio State up to going to match up with these guys at all? No. Is there anyone?
At their best, no one can beat Alabama. Now, when Alabama goes into LSU, they could have. I mean, they could lose a game, but it's because they're going to make mistakes. They're going to beat themselves. No one can beat Alabama at their best. Not even close. As they moved to 7-0. Georgia went into Baton Rouge on the Bayou and lost 36-16 to number 13 LSU. LSU's catapulted back into the top 5 for a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. But every time I go on this show and say Ed Orgeron is not a good coach that can't win big games, the guy wins big games.
Yeah.
He still does not. He still hasn't convinced me anything. Until he wins an SEC championship, I'm not sold on Ed Orgeron.
As long as Alabama's in the SEC, he's going to have a tough time doing that. But does this kind of take Georgia out of the college football playoff? Because if they make it to the SEC championship, they're going to run into Alabama and they're going to lose. So that puts them at 2 losses.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take them out, but it makes the road a lot more difficult. But if they could go win an SEC championship, it would be...
Yeah.
It wouldn't mean anything. It would just be that one loss. They had a bad loss last year, but Auburn got to the Big 12 or the SEC championship game. They beat Auburn 2 weeks after Auburn beat them. So it's, it doesn't end things for Georgia, but it makes it a lot harder. Kind of like that loss for LSU made that. But look, we're a week later, and everyone's back being sold on LSU.
Right.
So in a couple weeks, Georgia has a Florida game in Jacksonville that if they won convincingly would put Georgia in the top 4 again for a lot of people. Because I don't know that people think the Big Ten's that good.
Yeah.
No one has respect for the Big 12, and now that we're looking at it, it was Why would you?
It's fair.
Number 5 team in the country, Notre Dame, struggled.
Yes.
Struggled against Pittsburgh, but got the win 19-14. They're scheduled they're going to be in the college football playoff.
You think so?
Looking at the rest of their schedule, I don't see them losing a game. When they get in the college football playoff, they'll get beat pretty handily.
Yeah. You don't think there's a trap game? You don't think that Northwestern game's a trap game? Or
I mean, maybe. But, I mean, I thought the trap game was Virginia Tech. They won convincingly. And then because no one, I mean, Pitt's not very good.
Right.
And no one thought that was gonna happen, but it ended up happening. So Pitt's 3-4. So, they went into Notre Dame. Notre Dame always, when they went to the national championship game in 2012, they had a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Where they barely won. They beat Northwestern on a field goal that year. So maybe there is some trap games, but I don't see it happening. West Virginia, on the other hand, went into Ames.
Fell for the trap.
Brock Purdy is real.
Yeah.
They went into Ames and got beat.
Those uniforms were nice.
See, I didn't like them.
I like them.
I would like them if their main color wasn't red. I mean, there's no red on. It's like OSU wearing black and white uniforms.
Yeah, I just like all black on just about any team. Yeah. And I know, like you said, it's not their main color, but it just looks intimidating, especially at night.
Yeah, it did look pretty good.
Yeah.
But they look better. They looked really good. Now, it is still mathematically possible for Iowa State to get in the Big 12 championship game. It is still mathematically possible.
Well, how many more night games and names do they have?
Not enough, but it is still mathematically possible. So good on the Cyclones. Yeah. Kind of like I said earlier in the year, West Virginia always
drops one.
Trying to goes down their leg and is bad in the spotlight. So this is an interesting Big 12 game. Texas held on to beat Baylor, and as we talked about the Oklahoma State game, everyone else was on a bye. Number 7, Washington went down to Eugene and lost it. Oregon won an overtime game.
Yeah.
Something they weren't able to do earlier in the year.
The exact opposite of what I said last week.
Yeah, they would be probably in the top 5 or 6 had they beat Stanford in that game.
That Stanford loss just looks worse and worse.
Yeah, because Stanford's not really all that. They're going to keep climbing the polls. So Oregon, Jake Browning didn't have a great game.
Yeah. But
Washington had that game in hand and let Oregon crawl their way back in, lost in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Penn State. Lost to Michigan State on a last-minute touchdown by Michigan State, 21-17. What did we say about Penn State? James Franklin sat there after the Ohio State game. We're going to be a great program. We're not going to lose any more games. Yeah, you just lost to a 4-2 Michigan State team. So next time you promise something, maybe think a little bit about what you've got on the field because you almost lost to Appalachian State at home. You lost to Ohio State at home, and Michigan State, a not very good Michigan State team, came and beat you, James Franklin. So, sorry. On to next week. Speaking of teams that need to just move on, probably to next year is Wisconsin.
Yep.
Losing to number 12 Michigan, Harbaugh won a big game. So, there you go. You got Shea Patterson, 14-21, 124 yards.
This is the nicest thing you've ever said.
He finally won a big game. He still won at 7 against Michigan State and Ohio State.
That's going to change. I told you.
Even if he wins, he's still 3-7. He's going to have to sweep them for like the next 3 years.
Maybe that'll happen.
It's not.
I'm not going to say that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. But Michigan, for them to actually, I know this was a big game, and I'm not harping on him because I like to do that.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to beat Ohio State for it to be like, it's real. So Colorado lost. They are no longer undefeated. They went into USC. And before we get out of here really quickly, number 14 Florida was down and out against Vanderbilt. Came all the way back in Nashville. But did you see Derek Mason and the head coach Dan Moore fighting? They almost threw down on the sideline. But we do have to take a quick break. We'll be right back on One-on-One, OSU Student Radio KXUI, Sunlink Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit facebook.com/TinkerFCU. While you're there for your family, we're there for you. Tinker Federal Credit Union. And OSU Communications. Not sure where to park? OSU Communications has got you covered with parking tips and bus schedule information. We'll be right back.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
Welcome back to One on One on OSU Student Radio KXUI Suddenlink Channel 112, live from Studio 318. Our crew is doing a wonderful job here today. We are very happy to be here, and we're going to talk about a little NFL, and then we're going to get into Logan. If it wasn't for Logan, we would never mention the NBA on this show.
Welcome, everyone
But
out there.
we're going to get into a lot of NBA. My NBA takes will be laughed at come May because they aren't going to be very good. But I want to start with Jalen Ramsey.
Finally got shut up.
Because when you let Dak Prescott, I mean, we talked about Skylar Thompson at Kansas State not being very good. Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback in the National Football League.
Robin's going to come down from up there.
Well, what proof do you have? Well, I mean, what has Dak Prescott done that's really made you sit back and go, oh, wow, that guy's going to win me a Super Bowl? No.
I think after the first year there was
well, for
hope.
Cowboy fans, and then realistic expectations set in, and, I mean, Jerry Jones is still your owner. But besides that, I could go on about the Cowboys all day. I could go like 25 years, like their last Super Bowl win. But anyways, Jalen Ramsey sitting there in the locker room, I don't know. I don't know. Well, you better know, Jalen, because you knew a lot in the offseason. You talked so much trash, and every one of those quarterbacks that you trashed is better than your quarterback, because Blake Bortles is awful. All better than your quarterback. You've lost 2 straight. How can you sit there and just say, I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the Marshawn Lynch approach.
But
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
He's got to figure something out.
Yeah, well,
because he can't just be like that.
It's not like he's even playing bad. It's Blake Bortles has had 2 Blake Bortles games.
Yeah,
they can't have that. Blake Bortles has to take better care of the ball and not turn it over. What did he turn it over a couple weeks ago against your Chiefs? Was it 3 interceptions? It was something like that. It was something ridiculous. Something that you can't do if you want to be successful. And
yeah, but I have another rant that I'm going to get into.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Focus on this, okay? I want to talk about the New England Kansas City Chiefs games. You know, after Chiefs games, I'm usually not very happy. I'm usually upset. After last night, I am no longer upset. Because Patrick Mahomes, he threw 2 bad interceptions. He wasn't great in the first quarter, but he got better. I've never taken anything from a loss because that's not the type of fan I am. But guess what? We're coming for you. Tom. We're coming. I'm not scared of you anymore. You can douse my players in beer. You can throw anything at them. But we were down by 15 in Foxborough and fought our way back with the worst defense in the league. Without Justin Houston. Without Eric Berry. Like I said, see you in January, cheaters. We're coming for you, Tom, and I'm not scared. Back to you, Logan.
That was very good. You know, my Broncos lost to the Rams this last week, so I also have a message.
Maybe.
I have a very positive message.
I
have my own sign today. If we can get that on camera.
I might have to hold it. There you go.
We're coming for you. Justin Herbert. Keep playing good ball at Oregon. Broncos are going 4-12, and we're taking Justin Herbert, the savior.
We need to just get a 2-shot of this.
All of our signs.
If we get, there we go.
There we go.
I'm not scared, Tom. We are coming.
Welcome to Denver, Justin.
I've never taken anything from loss.
That's two very separate messages from two very different fan bases right there.
Oh, we're the same. We're rivals, but we can all get behind the 4-12 argument. I love that one. But at the end of the day, in all seriousness, that's what I took from that loss is I'm no longer scared of the New England Patriots. To come back from 15 with a bad defense after 2 bad interceptions, he wasn't great in the first quarter. And by the way, Colin Cowherd, are you kidding me? No one is going to sit here in a one-game scenario and say, you know what, I think that I want Patrick Mahomes over Tom Brady for one game. He's been to 8 Super Bowls. He's got 5 Super Bowl rings. Granted, he's played 19 seasons. No, Colin, stop. Stop. That's the worst. It's the worst argument, and I'm a fan. But you're clueless, man. What argument are you making? No one. Well, we didn't see the torch pass last night. Until he wins the Super Bowl, the torch. You don't just pass the torch from the greatest of all time to a guy who started 7 games.
Right.
No one made that argument. I joked about the Hall of Fame jacket because you know what? Patrick Mahomes today has more talent as an NFL quarterback than Tom Brady ever thought about having. He can run. He can throw. He's so much better than Tom Brady in every physical way possible. That doesn't mean he's going to win 5 Super Bowl rings. That doesn't mean at the end of the day he's going to get the GOAT argument. That's not to say those things are possible. But if you watch any tape, Tom Brady's never been a physical being where you're like, look at that arm. No. Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady physically right now. That's not to say. And he was on Twitter making that argument. No one made that argument. No one.
Yeah. Well, now you kind of see Colin Cowherd from the rest of our perspectives.
His Russell Westbrook takes are fire.
See.
That I can get behind. But the argument he was making, it was like he was trying to a gotcha, I told you so moment. Did I not tell you this last week that this was going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect him to go into Foxborough and win. I didn't expect for him to get down and climb their way back like that either. I'm no longer scared. That game's in Arrowhead in January, and Tom will retire because we will win by 3 touchdowns.
At halftime?
At halftime. Like he did last time he was in Arrowhead.
You want to go into our picks from last week? Because I did not do very well last week, but you did. You actually did a pretty good job picking the games. I'm trying to remember.
Dubs.
You got the Steelers and Bengals right. You took the Steelers.
Oh, there we go.
We both got the Chargers right. Both got the Bears wrong. That was a bit of a shocker. And the Cowboys manhandled the Jaguars. That was kind of a
we got that one wrong.
Complete opposite of what we thought. You got the Ravens right. Totally shut out the Titans. Joe Flacco proved me wrong. I hate to say that.
Wait, whoa. You didn't pick the Chiefs?
No.
That's why they lost.
I told you I wasn't going to pick the Chiefs.
Are you kidding me? You're at fault for this. You
can't blame me for this.
We had been on this the entire, and you betrayed me.
I think
shame on you.
Who do the Chiefs play next week?
The Bengals.
I'll pick them to win that one.
What is wrong with you, man?
I can't pick against Tom Brady.
You have to. That's what we were going with. This was for me. Why did you do that to me? I didn't even pay attention Friday because I didn't think that.
I let you down. I had to get one right, though.
Man.
I had to get it right.
This is on you. That's on you. You owe Chiefs Kingdom an apology. Now.
I'm sorry, Chiefs Kingdom, that you haven't won a Super Bowl since before Reed was alive.
Since before, my dad was 5.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I will pick for you the rest of the way until you play the Patriots again, maybe.
I feel so betrayed. I just want to get offset right now. I feel so betrayed that it's not even funny. Like,
I'm sorry.
You hurt me bad.
Hopefully we can get past this together.
I thought, you know what? I said I didn't ever take positives from a loss, and I did last night, and that's all over with because my partner in crime, my host here, went against everything that we'd been doing for the first 5 weeks, and you completely messed it up.
So, are you going to start picking for them now, or are you going to keep picking against them?
No, next week we're going back to what we had been doing and what got us to 5-0.
All right, I will move the Chiefs to the Super Bowl by myself. I will pick for them every week. They will win every week.
I
would like to apologize again to Reed and everyone from Kansas City.
It's just
I let you down.
Yes, you did. It's
not the defense. It was me.
Well, if it works next week, I will forgive you. But that really hurt, Logan. I'm really did. I'm sorry. But let's get into our NBA. We're going to get into it a little early because we have so much to talk about.
Yes,
and we're going to start. We will do in the next segment our Eastern and Western Conference.
Okay.
Right now, I want to talk about Rookie of the Year, and I'll let you start it off.
All right. My Rookie of the Year prediction, it's kind of bland, but it's Luka Doncic.
Oh, that's no fun. That's mine.
I know, but I'm going to give you a couple reasons. He was the best player in Europe in the second best league in the entire world. He was the best player, and he's only 19 years old. He won a championship in the second best league in the world, and he won Finals MVP in the second best league in the world, playing against guys who have played in the NBA, who have that talent. And everyone talks about how great Trae Young was for the first half of the college season. How many other guys in the Big 12 made it to the NBA? Not a lot. He did not play against a bunch of high-level competition during his college time. And in 2018, he was awful. In the year 2018, they were awful. And, Luka Doncic, the hype is real. That was a terrible trade. We can talk about that for years, and I hope we do. But it's not just how much better he was in Europe. It's about the situation he's in. He's got a great head coach in George Carlisle, really good veterans around him, Dirk Nowitzki, what's his name, Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
And he's got a fun guy to play with in Dennis Smith Jr. I think the Mavs are not a playoff team, but they're a sneaky team. They're going to be sneaky good in the West.
Well, I had that Luka Doncic as well, but I'm going to switch it up because that was your pick.
Okay.
I want to do Kevin Knox for Colicchio, but I can't bring myself to do it. I think that Colin Sexton is going to have a really good year in Cleveland. Cleveland's not making the playoffs. A little insight into my Eastern Conference there. They're not going to be great. They're going to struggle, much like they did when LeBron left the first time.
Right.
But I think Ty Lue is not a great coach, but he's a competent coach. I think that Colin Sexton, he was great at Alabama.
Yes.
And like I said, Luka Doncic was my first pick, but let's go, 2.0 here.
Okay.
I think that Colin Sexton is going to have a really good year, and he's going to have a lot of SC Top 10 highlights.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to make those plays to be Rookie of the Year, just because, like you said, it's him and Kevin Love.
Yeah.
And he's the point guard, so he really gets to decide who gets the shot at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think they're not going to be playing for a lot. Like you said, they're probably not a playoff team even in the West.
Yeah.
But I can see that. I can follow your logic. Another guy I think is DeAndre Ayton. And the only reason I think DeAndre Ayton has a chance is because I think he has the physical stamina to not hit the rookie wall. If you watch him, he is a big dude. He plays like a man out there.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to – the Phoenix Suns are obviously not going to play for anything except for draft position. So I think he's going to be able to put up monster numbers.
Yeah, and I think when you look at where a lot of these rookies are, Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, I know the Mavs haven't been good for, 5 years now?
Ever since they won that championship.
I mean, they've just been on a downhill slide. But even with the organizational problems that they've had, it almost feels like he's in a better situation. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, I know there's especially for Ayton, there's talent around him.
Yeah.
But what is there that makes you think, like, they have the support there?
Yeah.
Trae Young, what support does he have there?
He's going to get a lot of shots off.
Yeah, he's going to – I mean, can you believe when he hits, like, one shot from the parking lot and, preseason everyone goes nuts?
Yeah.
Who cares? Trae Young
Someone
is not.
does.
Well, they're all down south in Norman. They also care about Baker, too. But we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back to break down our MVPs and the Eastern and Western Conference playoff scenarios. We'll be right back on One-on-One. Ocean Student Radio, KXUI, Suddenlink, Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting, business administration, theology, engineering, computer science, or cybersecurity from Oklahoma Christian University. Apply at oc.edu/grad. Oklahoma University is committed to offering the best graduate school experience we possibly can. Come learn and grow with us. And The Table. Stop by The Table on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to join their Bible study. Shoot Rachel an email at rachel@thetableosu.com for more information. We'll be right back.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
KXUI, Sunlink Channel 112. We're having fun here, messing around on the breaks, figuring stuff out. We appreciate everyone coming in to help us today. But we didn't get into, we spent a little bit too much time on Rookie of the Year. We did, and who cares? It's our show. We do what we want, right, Logan? But it's time to get into MVP.
Okay.
Now, I will let you go first because I have two MVPs, and I have a good argument for both of them. I will finish with choosing one, but I'll let you go first.
My MVP is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak over in Milwaukee. He finally is going to have a head coach that is good at coaching basketball. He led the Hawks to 60 wins a couple of years ago.
Was that a shot at Jason Kidd?
I don't know, maybe. You can take it that way.
Whoa.
Yeah. But, yeah, finally going to have a competent head coach. He kind of seems to have developed a three-point shot, too. If you watch him in the postseason, he seemed more confident taking three-pointers. Wasn't making him all that well, but I think he shot 40% in one game or something like that. But he seems to have expanded his game. He worked out with Kobe all summer. And he's at that age where he doesn't care about anything else. He's kind of like when LeBron was winning MVPs and when Kevin Durant won that MVP, just in the gym all the time, not doing TV, not doing endorsements, not doing all that kind of stuff, just playing basketball. And I think the Bucks have a real shot of being a top 2 seed in the East this year.
Top 2?
I think they could be top 2.
Top 2 in the East?
We'll get into that in a minute, but I think there's a chance they're top 2 in the
drug
East.
test you on this show, man.
I'm just saying.
Top 2?
There's a chance. Toronto could start slow.
Well, there's always a chance. I mean,
I think Toronto
there's
starts
a chance
slow.
we could win an Emmy here, but come on.
Hey, we are going to win an Emmy. You got to think it into existence.
A 2 seed?
I think they could be a 2 seed. We'll get into that later, but I think it's Giannis.
I have such a great comment that I will wait till after the show to make.
Okay.
It's going to be hilarious.
Okay, I'm ready for it. And I think LeBron has a shot if the Lakers win around 50 games. But if they don't get to that, if they don't get to be a 2 or a 3 seed in the West, which I don't think it's likely, but it's not a given, I think LeBron will win it just because of the media vote and how the media loves stories.
Thank you.
Giannis is my pick.
I'm about to make the same argument you just made. I'm going with Anthony Davis as my original
I
pick.
considered Anthony Davis, but I don't think he's going to win enough games. But I'll let you get into your deal.
Well, you look at the season that he had last year and the impact that you had. He's pretty much I know Rondo and all those good things, but you look at, what was it, the 25-game stretch that he had
in February?
Was ridiculous.
Yes.
He's obviously not going to do that for 82 games. I mean,
Yeah, if he does, that'd be insane.
I mean, the only guy who has 82 games like that is Russell Westbrook for 2 years in a row. I mean, averaging the triple-double. Who you could argue probably should have won the MVP again last year. He averaged a triple-double. But Anthony Davis, I think he's getting more and more media respect. And a lot of times, like last year, everyone was in love with James Harden.
Yes.
But Russell Westbrook probably should have got it. But he got all the love last year or the year before that. So now it's all the time, and you're kind of seeing that media tide. And it may go to Giannis. But I think it goes to Anthony Davis. He does enough to win an MVP. But when the media locks in on a guy, that's the guy who wins.
You can usually tell who wins MVP around January, February.
Yeah, because everyone's making the argument for him.
Yes.
Now, like you, LeBron James had a legitimate shot to win the MVP because he's worth a lot of wins.
Yes.
A lot of wins. And if you look at where they were last year, 35 wins for the Lakers. If they only need 15 more wins to get 50.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is worth 15, probably 20 games.
Yeah. The only thing, whenever LeBron goes to a new team, they tend to start slow. Whenever that first year in Miami, they started slow. His first year back in Cleveland, he took October off.
Yeah.
He took a vacation. So I could see that kind of holding him back.
I think, though, that LeBron knew in the East, though, that they were okay.
Yes.
I think LeBron now knows that there's no taking January and February little breaks in the 5-game slides. I think he's locked in and committed to winning, and I don't think that he's going to look at the West and go, I can't do that here.
Yeah.
55 wins gets him the 3 seed last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that outside of the top 2 in Houston and Golden State, I don't think that many teams got that much better. A couple of them probably got worse.
Yeah.
I think that they're the 3 seed, and I think that LeBron James has a legitimate shot. I think that Anthony Davis right now is my favorite, but I would not be at all surprised. And if he gets them to 55 wins, a 20-game upswing, he deserves the MVP.
They're an MVP if they win 55 games. If they're a top 3 seed, he wins it no matter what. They could win 49 games and be the top 3 seed, and he'll win it, I think. But it's all about the media, who they're talking about. And, Giannis tends to start strong. He started strong last year. He was an MVP candidate for a couple weeks, maybe even a month or two, and then he fell off. I think that's part of the coaching, and I think that's one of the things that's going to get fixed. But, yeah, I'm behind you on the logic behind your Anthony Davis deal. His numbers will be insane. I just don't see the Pelicans being higher than a 6 seed. That's the best case for them.
I have them.
Okay, I don't have them there. We can get into that if you're ready. Get into our standings.
Let's start with LeBron's old conference. By the way, the Lakers last year were 19-33 in conference.
Yeah.
That's got to get better. I think it will.
I think it will too.
Do you want to start with your Eastern Conference, or would you like me to?
I'll let you go first. I'll see how close we are.
All right. I will start 1 through 8.
Okay.
The number 1 seed, the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Number 2, Philadelphia. Number 3, Indiana.
Okay.
Number 4, Toronto. Number 5, Miami. 6, Milwaukee, not a 2 seed. 7, Washington, and 8, Detroit. 7 and 8 are bad.
Yes.
Really bad, but I think Detroit is going to get a little bit better with Dwayne Casey.
I agree. I don't know if that roster is very good, though, as a whole. I don't know if Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan work well together in today's NBA.
Yeah, but let's be honest. The 8 seed in the East is not like...
Yeah,
it was almost like a sympathy vote here.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for the last 2 a little bit less than I did the rest of them. And it's like, well, they're going to be bad, but I'll sneak them in there. So, I mean, you're looking at the Hornets, Knicks, Nets, Bulls, Magic, and Hawks.
And the Heat. Do you have the Heat in the playoffs?
Yes, I have the Heat at 5 seed.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
With Jimmy Butler.
We could talk a whole hour about that, too. But my Eastern Conference, Boston 1, Toronto 2, Milwaukee 3.
Oh.
I have them in that 3rd spot. Philadelphia 4, Indiana 5, Washington 6, Charlotte 7, and Miami 8.
Run through this one more time.
Okay. Boston 1.
Okay.
Toronto 2. Milwaukee 3. Philadelphia 4. Washington 6. Charlotte 7. Miami 8. Charlotte's been to the playoffs a couple years ago. They got rid of Dwight Howard, the Ebola virus of the NBA locker room.
Yeah.
They got rid of Dwight Howard. That's got to help them. And I think they're getting Nicholas Batum back for a whole year. Kemba Walker's going to be playing in a contract year, trying to get paid by the Hornets.
Frank the Tank Kaminsky's going to have a big year.
No, I didn't say his name. I'm not advertising that. I think Kemba Walker's going to have a big year. Nicholas Batum. I think Malik Monk is going to show up as someone that had a terrible rookie season and is vastly improved in his second year. I think I don't want to say J.R. Smith because I don't associate him with all the off-court stuff of J.R. Smith, but he's going to be a good heat check guy that's going to be great from three and can score the ball really well. He's really shown up in preseason. And, preseason doesn't mean everything, but yeah, I'm all in on Milwaukee. And the reason I have Philadelphia so low, because I feel like you're giving me a side look for that. Philadelphia won a lot to end the year. I'm trying to find their win streak right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. They won like their last 15 games. And you know what they needed to win those 15 games?
A lot.
They needed Marco Bellinelli to shoot 40% from three, 14.8 points a game. And Ersan Ilyasova shot 36% from three and 11 points per game. That's not what those guys are. That was a fluke deal. Those guys got super hot at the end of the year. And those guys are gone. It's not even like they won't do that at the end of this year. They're on different teams. So I see Philadelphia taking a step back because I'm not all in on Markelle Fultz.
But he fixed his shot, Logan.
I know. So did Lonzo, they said. I mean, everyone's in the best shape of their life coming into the season, but that doesn't mean anything.
Lonzo can fix that shot. When you buy a bad car and you take the mechanic, it's still a bad car.
That's right.
And Lonzo's a bad car. There's no mechanic that can fix it.
Maybe LeBron can. We'll see. We'll see if he can make him look good.
LeBron is a wizard, but even he can't fix that family.
But yeah, that's
on to the Western Conference. Yeah. Unless you had anything else.
I was just going to say that's why I'm down on Philadelphia. I think Indiana could even surprise people and take that 4 spot.
3 seed, man.
Indiana? I like Indiana, but I don't know if I like them that much. Oh, the news on Indiana, they're trying to extend Miles Turner. They're working on like a 4-year, $70 million contract. I'm just going to warn you, Pacers, that's an awful idea. Miles Turner's a bust.
As soon as Indiana climbs to the top, they just jump off the cliff.
Yeah,
every single time.
I think they're kind of panicking, trying to capitalize so Paul George doesn't happen again. That kind of situation. All right. But anyway, we'll move on to the West.
Western Conference. I will run through my 1 through 8, just like we did the Eastern Conference. Golden State, shocker, I know.
Yeah.
Houston at the 2 seed. Mm-hmm. The Showtime Los Angeles Lakers at 3. 55 wins will get them that seed. LeBron is worth those 20 wins. Your Oklahoma City Thunder at 4.
Okay.
The Utah Jazz at 5. New Orleans at 6. Portland at 7. And San Antonio squeaks in at 8. I didn't feel that way a week ago. I feel that way now. Now, I think just like last year, 4 through 8 is a handful of games thrown in there.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And it could come down to the last game. So, secret, Logan, where do you think I'm going with the 4 and 5 matchup? Utah will beat the Thunder in the playoffs for the second straight year.
That's
wrong. A little inside.
Okay. My 1 through 8, Golden State, number 1, obviously. Houston 2, we agree there.
Real original, Logan.
I know, right? I stole it from him. I saw his notes before the show. I'm going Utah Jazz at 3. They didn't get any worse.
They probably, the experience they gained.
Yeah.
And Grayson Allen, I think, is a secret weapon. He's not going to transform
gonna be good off the
NBA, but he's a guy that can come in and get you pivotal minutes and will tick everyone off in the way he does it.
He can kind of be like the Kyle Kuzma of this rookie class, kind of the guy that played 4 years in college, knows the game, and can just go out there and provide quality minutes. Then it's a toss-up. It's the Lakers and Thunder for 4 or 5, and the difference maker is Andre Roberson and Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook's knee bothers him going into the season for a couple weeks, they might drop some important games that'll hurt him later. And in the West, you can't drop games early in the season or at any part of the season, really. And Andre Roberson's the other key guy, maybe not coming back till December. I'm not going to put a ton of weight on that, but he matters. We saw that whenever he went down at the end of the season last year. The Thunder took a deep dive, and I think that's one of the main reasons they lost that series to Utah. They could have used Andre Roberson to guard Donovan Mitchell. So if Russell Westbrook and Roberson come back, if Russ comes back and plays from the opening night or even the second game, they're good to go.
Yeah.
Because Russ is going to give you 82 games of full force effort.
Not this year's 80 games.
Yeah, 81, 80 games, something like that. And I think Roberson will come back when he's ready. And so that's my 4 and 5. Portland, I have it 6. And then 7 and 8, I have 3 teams fighting for those 2 spots. It's a mix between Denver, New Orleans, and San Antonio. I think San Antonio might get that 7 seed. And then Denver gets the 8th seed. I hate to see New Orleans out of the playoffs with Anthony Davis. But they lost DeMarcus Cousins. They lost Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of key guys on that squad. And I don't know if Anthony Davis can continue that for a whole 82 games. I would like to.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to pick between those three teams because San Antonio has the best coach in Pop, and I think he'll will them to the playoffs.
Second best coach in the NBA now. Behind LeBron James.
Oh.
GM, coach, GM, and player.
Yeah, and then Denver, they almost made it last year.
Yeah.
It took an overtime game against Minnesota to knock them out of the playoffs on the last night of the regular season. And then, I already mentioned my deal with New Orleans. It's tough for me to pick. If I had to pick today, it would be San Antonio and Denver.
Those are good picks. We'll come back into the break. We have baseball to get into, but I want to ask you your winner. We'll get into that next.
Okay.
We'll be right back on One-on-One O's, your student-rated KXUI Suddenlink Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Air National Guard. Contact Oklahoma Air National Guard at 800-GO-TO-ANG or visit their website at goang.com/OK for more information about how to get 100% college tuition. And Unitarian Universalist Church. If you're looking for a church home, visit Unitarian Universalist Church of Stillwater, located at 320 South Stallick Street. They offer an alternative spiritual path and welcome all races, religions, and beliefs. They are also LGBTQ friendly. Services every Sunday at 10:30. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to One-on-One on O's, your student-rated KXUI Suddenlink Channel 112. We are live from Studio 318. What's the date, Logan? Show us the date.
Today, oh, that's the wrong paper. That's my Broncos paper. Today is the 15th of October. Christmas is not until December 25th. Stop celebrating Christmas. Read. I'm calling you out. You're one of those people.
Play Christmas music from now
You don't even wait for Halloween.
until... I don't need Halloween.
Bro.
Yeah, dress up as Santa Claus. Okay?
All right, Reed, I want to see you as Santa on Wednesday.
Nah. We
Yeah.
can get Robert to dress up as
Oh,
Santa.
no.
I'll bring hat and beard and go find a Santa. I'm all in on Christmas. Once you get over that first week of October, ho, 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 it's Merry Christmas.
It's October.
It was snowing in
I
the
swear,
it
people are going to
snowed.
start celebrating Christmas after the 4th of July in like 3 years.
It snowed in this state
Okay.
yesterday.
Snows in
No
Colorado
one
like
thinks
all the time.
It's in the mountains, Logan. We're in Oklahoma. There's literally no mountains. It's the exact opposite of the mountains in the panhandle of the state. It's Christmas time. No one thinks of snow and Halloween. We think of Christmas and snow. It's Christmas. That's why I wore my flannel today.
Okay, Reed.
And it's really cold outside. But the Brewers and Dodgers are tied
Yes.
at 1. They go in tonight. Game 1, y'all's Monty Grandal was awful. Awful. 3 errors, 5 errors for the Dodgers, something that doesn't happen. They don't have those errors. They probably win the game because they fight back enough to be right there at the end. They were 90 feet away and couldn't get it done. But they come back from a big game, not a bad game from Justin Turner, but he hits a home run that gives them that win. They are tied 1-1 going back to Los Angeles. Where does this series stand for you right now? Is it going the Dodgers' way or the Brewers' way after 2?
It's right in the middle. I think whoever wins this game in Los Angeles kind of takes control. And I think that's the Dodgers just because of home field.
Yeah.
But it's right now, if you made me put all my money on one team, I would freak out because I wouldn't have any idea. What are you thinking?
Not the New York Yankees.
Well, yeah, you just said that because Colicchio walked in. That's wrong.
Well, I was all in on him before. That was my team, and it didn't work. Listen, the Dodgers could have had Game 1.
Right.
They fought out. It's been so close in this series, so I'm kind of like you. I don't know. I think Game 3 is the most pivotal game in baseball.
Yes.
Because that turns the tide. I mean, Yasmani Grandal is back behind the plate tonight, so that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm still sticking with the Dodgers.
I am too, I think, just because it's in LA and Game 3 is so important.
Yeah.
Because I mean, is it like basketball? Is it 1-1 after this?
2-2, 1-1-1.
Okay, so yeah, if they win this game, Game 7's in their house.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah, it would certainly. It's just been so close. So it did not help Kershaw to lose those games. And unfortunately, he gave up a big hit to Woodruff, the relief pitcher.
Yeah.
And then the errors just Yasmani Grandal. I'm serious. He was awful in Game 1.
Yeah, and I think that home run Kershaw gave up was only the 3rd home run to a relief pitcher in like 100 years or something like that.
In baseball history, I think so.
And it was only his 4th to a pitcher.
Yeah.
So
that's a long line of history is baseball. So you wouldn't think Kershaw would give those up. Now to Colicchio's favorite team, the least favorite team, the Boston Red Sox.
He's gonna come up here and
he's good. By the way, T.O. on the baseball talk.
Okay.
Happy birthday to Jason Colicchio. Yeah. He can go buy an adult beverage. He turned 21. Happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend
Jason
from
Colicchio.
Sayville, New York. Jason Colicchio. Happy birthday, Jason. Back to the Red Sox.
All right.
The Red Sox and Astros are also tied 1-1 going back to Houston. Chris Sale's hospitalized for stomach illness. They don't think it's super serious, more of a precautionary thing.
It's pretty
than
serious
ever.
if you're in the hospital.
But, I don't know. Maybe it is Christmas. Maybe, the planets aren't lined up like they're supposed to. I don't know what kind of world we're living in because people are concerned about politics. We could do a whole show about that, especially in this state. Global warming, all that good stuff. David Price won a playoff baseball game. Whoa. 0-10 up to this point.
The sky is falling.
There is something wrong on planet Earth. Like I said, you could call it global warming, politics, but David Price won a playoff baseball game. Yeah. I'm concerned about where this world is going because he couldn't do it up to that point. He was awful.
Yeah.
And he beat one of the best lineups in baseball.
So does that influence what you think going forward? Can he win another game or was it a fluke?
He's 1-10 now, so unless he wins the next 15, I'll never be sold on David Price in October.
Yeah.
I still think this series is the Astros.
With Chris Sale getting hospitalized with stomach issues, I've been in the hospital with stomach issues. I've had my appendix about to burst. That is not a good time. And if it's anything close to that, he's not going to be ready for baseball anytime soon.
I'm going to have to go to the hospital for a broken heart because of what you did to me earlier.
I'm sorry I picked against your Chiefs, man, but
yeah,
I don't play favorites. I just look at the matchup and I decide it that way.
I thought we had a good thing going, and
we'll get that going again. It'll be okay.
It hurts, but I really do. I think that it's the Dodgers and Astros to lose, and I'll take I think I picked the Dodgers, so I'll have to stick with that. But even after 2 games, even with the Red Sox winning, by the way, are the Red Sox and Boston fans, David?
They might be the worst fans in sports.
They are the worst fans in sports. Throwing a beer on Tyreek Hill, by the way, you're going to get sued for that, and you're going to get prosecuted.
They're banned from Gillette Stadium.
Can't go to any more Patriots games. So have fun. We'll welcome you into Arrowhead in January when you come in and take the L. We'll welcome you. You can sit in the friendly confinements of Arrowhead Stadium because when it's cold and it's rocking, it's the loudest outdoor stadium in the world. Bring it on. We'll give you free beer. I'll throw it on you. It'll be great.
Service with a smile. So, Reed, let me ask you about this Dodgers-Brewers game that's going on tonight at 6:39. Baseball has such weird times to start. That bothers me, but I don't want to get into that. The over-under 7.5.
Over.
You're taking the over, and are you taking the Dodgers to win this one at home?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take the Dodgers tonight in Game 3, and I will take the Astros tomorrow in Game 3 as well.
Okay.
Go Stros. I really couldn't care less who won. I don't want to see the Red Sox win because I don't like Boston.
Yeah, I mean.
But between the Brewers, it's always nice to see a small market team win. I mean, much like the Royals, they have some of the Royals players.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers have such a historic history and haven't won in such a long time. It would be nice to see the Dodgers win. And the Astros won one last year, but, they were down for so long.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of want to ask you this. It's not really so much about the World Series, but if we're looking at a rematch between the Astros and the Dodgers, we hear a lot about how people complain about the finals in the NBA for the past, 3-4 years has been Warriors-Cavs. Do we start to see that with baseball, or do we like that with baseball more, even though it's only 2?
Look what the Yankees did in, the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s. The Red Sox have been good for a decade. The Royals did it for 2 or 3 years. I mean, the Giants won 3 and 6.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have kind of been in there. No, because as much as people complain about it, like, our producer Levi, he's a big basketball fan. He doesn't want to see it. He still watched it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I still watched it.
They were the biggest numbers.
Yeah, I mean, everyone,
since the 80s,
they complain about it, but they watch it. People want to tear dynasties down. They can't stand it. The Patriots have been good since Tom Brady got there. They've been to 8 Super Bowls. 50% of the time, he makes it to the big game. You still watch it.
Yeah.
So, as much as people say it's a problem, people still watch it and people love it. They say they don't, but they do. So, that's probably a better thing for baseball because baseball needs the numbers.
Yeah.
They need it more than any other sport. By the way, Colicchio came in late and he missed that you predicted the Knicks to win the NBA championship.
Yeah, he did. Well, he can watch it on YouTube.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back Wednesday with OSU Insider Robert Allen. You've been watching One on One on OSU Student Radio KXUI, Suddenlink, Channel 112.
Be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.